Hey everybody, this is Troy and I hope you're having a great day. Here's the second part to my testimony. If you've not seen the first part, please go watch it because it'll help a lot of this, make more sense. You can watch this first and go back, but I do recommend please watch the first part too because everything by the time I'm done, it'll make it all make a lot more sense. Okay, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. As I said before, I'm not going to say names of people out of respect and privacy, but anyway, okay. As I left off before, I was with the girl I was dating at the time. We're living in a college town. We've got a roommate that lives with us. Everything's going good with everything like that, other than, of course, I'm partying nonstop. I'm not in college, she is, but I'm living that college party lifestyle. It's just crazy. And I come home from work one day. I come walking through the door, and it's like she was waiting for me in the living room, kind of smiling. And I'm like, what's going on? And she says, go in the bathroom and look on the counter beside the sink. I'm like, why? She says, just do it. So most of you that watched the first one, you probably know what it was. I walk in there, and like I said, I had no clue when I got home that day that my life was getting ready to change forever. And I walk in there and look, and it's the pregnancy test, and it's showing up positive. She's pregnant. And I'm like, is this for real? Like serious? You're not joking me or nothing? Like, nope, it's real. And I think she said she had already took a few of them. So, well, she ends up going to the doctor, and sure enough, she was pregnant. Now, like I've said in other videos, when I'm talking about partying and us living together, not being married, and her getting, I'm not condoning it, of course. The Bible tells us not to do these things. This is just my testimony of the things that I was doing that led me to finally following Jesus the right way. So please keep that in mind through all of this. I'm not condoning it. This is just part of my story. And so anyway, so now, okay, she's pregnant. Well, we're like, we got to do something different. So we finished out the lease, however long that was, with the roommate we were with. And of course, her being pregnant, I give her all the credit in the world. Me and her might have had our differences and stuff, but she's been a great mother. I mean, great mother. And she done everything right, making sure that she was born healthy and all that. Uh, I was still drinking. I weren't doing all the other stuff as much, but I was still drinking some, but I tried to do it away from her because I knew that it would, weren't right to do it in front of her, and I knew she would probably want to, but so that's the way it was kind of going. We're like, well, we can't keep living here, so the roommate, we just kind of like, well, she's going her own way anyway too. So we moved more closer to home. This place where we were living was about 45 minutes away from where we basically kind of grew up and all. But so we moved a little more closer to home, and we get a place and we're staying, and I'm just doing whatever jobs, like, again, from the first testimony, where I had gotten in trouble when I was like 15 years old with the law and stuff. I got bad stuff put on my background, and it made it really hard for me to get jobs and stuff. It just really did. And something else too that I didn't touch on the first video, well, now, where I was raised up, we didn't have like waterfront property like rich people or anything. Nothing wrong with that, but we lived near water. And so my whole life, my family, my grandparents, my dad, my uncle, some of everybody they were commercial fishermen. And the other ones that didn't do that was like farmers or whatever. So I had grown up doing commercial fishing work on the river my whole life. And I always had this to fall back on, even though I'd done like the restaurant jobs and stuff like that, a little bit of construction, whatever. It was hard to get those really good jobs because of my background. So I mostly relied on the commercial fishing stuff whenever I could. And so we're living in Washington. I'm doing that. The restaurant that I had been working at to get extra money, it had closed down. So we're kind of struggling. I mean, we're really kind of struggling financially and stuff. And I'm like, I need to go back to school. So while she's pregnant, I start to go back to go to community college. And I was going, taking classes, and I was like, well, you know, my sports stuff is over as far as playing, but maybe I can get into sports medicine. So that's what I was going to try to do. Well, everything's going along. Well, it comes time for her to have the baby, and there was something going on. I don't know what, I can't remember, but we basically were in the hospital waiting for the child to be born for like a week. So I missed like a whole week worth of classes because of it. Thank the Lord, my child was born healthy, strong, good, everything's fine. And but then when I go back to the classes, the teachers tell me, they're like, you're so far behind, you would be better off just dropping the class and coming back later. So that's what I did. And unfortunately, when I tried to come back to try to get financial aid, they said, because you dropped those classes, you don't qualify. You have to come for at least a semester or two, paying for it out of pocket, pass and prove you're serious. And I could never get enough money to do it. So that ended that. So I'm just doing the best I can. She's finished her college stuff, and she's, you know, doing her thing, getting her job and all. And it just got to the point at my little girl. It was a little girl. She was not even but a few months old. We couldn't get along anymore. We were having trouble getting along, and basically just figured it's as much as it really hurt me. I knew it was for the best for her to go her separate way and me go my separate way. So we kind of split up. And of course, her being the mother, she had full custody of the child. And I just got visitation, seeing her like on the weekends. Sometimes I would go after work and see her a little bit, or, you know, maybe a week or a few days more here and there or something. But mostly just every other weekend. And this devastated me. I mean, it really did. And because all I had ever wanted was, I wanted a family, and so I was just heartbroken. And now, of course, I start drinking even more. I go back into my old ways. I'm drinking really heavily, nonstop, and I had such a tolerance. I mean, I'm talking like a 12-pack or either a fifth of liquor a night. And the thing is, I was so used to it, I could do this and function, you know. So that's what was so bad about it. And of course, then that made me want to do the other stuff that I had a problem with, that I told you about in the first video. And so I'm really doing bad stuff like that. I mean, I'm just like, I didn't care. I mean, I obviously didn't want anything to happen to myself or anything, but I was just so devastated, I didn't know how to handle it. And even though I had been raised a Christian, and I knew that the Lord will help you if you ask Him, and believe me, I did a lot of praying, I wasn't doing it the right way. And I was not letting Him lead my life. I was trying to lead my own life. And the only way I knew how at the time to handle things came from the bottom of a bottle or the other stuff. And so I'm just getting, you know, worse with this stuff. I never around my child. Never around my child. But like I said, I'm seeing her like every other weekend. So that's a lot of time in between where I'm doing what I'm doing. And so it's there was other things I was doing too that I didn't talk about in the first video. I left a lot out. I mean, it's just too much. So there's a lot I'm having to skip. And I'll make a separate video on this because I really want to touch on this anyway. Ever since I was a kid, something else, I was fascinated with horror movies and the occult and witchcraft. I was fascinated with it. And at this point, I was getting even more fascinated with it. I'm reading the stuff, and I had the mindset, well, I don't want to like be a witch or anything or something, but I felt like to better understand the good, you need to understand the evil too. And I still believe that, but spiritual warfare is a bad thing. And if you're not covered by the Lord, and you're not praying before you're doing it, you're opening a lot of doors, and you're welcoming stuff into your life. At this time, I did not understand that with spiritual warfare. So I'm looking into all this stuff. I'm reading all these books. I'm just full force into it with all the drinking and everything else. And but that's something for another video, because I look for that a little later on sometime, a spiritual warfare video, and I'll go more in depth what was happening to me. But you talk about the sleep paralysis and all this other stuff, it was full force happening. But I'll touch on that in another video. But that's the kind of stuff I'm doing here, and I'm just getting worse and worse. Uh, of course, I find out that the ex-girlfriend has got somebody else. That's, rightfully so, her business. We're not together anymore. And she's doing right by my daughter. She's a great mother. But of course, I'm like, just bothers me even more. So what do? Being still young and stupid, I'm still in my early 20s here. I go out partying and stuff, and I decide I'm with somebody, just kind of dating, fooling around, dating, and let's go get married at the Justice of the Peace. So I did that, being young and stupid, and basically a year and a half goes by of this. I'm living a complete lie, and I knew it. And it's like one day I finally kind of like snapped out of it and woke up like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So, and it wasn't fair to the other ones, but I knew I was living a lie. Should have never done it. It was more like I'll take that, getting back at you, totally wrong on my part. So I go through the steps of getting divorced and stuff. And again, I've repented from that. I have prayed to the Lord and asked him to please forgive me for all that, because I know how wrong it is. So I have repented and asked forgiveness for all of that. And just throwing that out there, make that clear. So now I'm back single again, still doing everything. And I'm having trouble getting money, doing anything. I finally get a job working, actually helping deliver newspapers. And if you would have asked me when I was younger that would I ever do a job like that, I probably would have laughed at you. But to be honest with you, I loved it. I actually loved it. I had my routes. I got to know a lot of people. I already knew a lot of people, but I met a lot more people delivering papers, made even more friendships. I'd get little perks out of it. People give me free food, free drinks, go to movies for free because I take newspaper to them. I mean, I was like, okay, cool. And I really loved that job. I loved it. And I done that for a little over 8 years, and just loved it. But I'm still, I'm not fulfilled. I'm still not, even though I love Jesus, I still consider myself a Christian and all. I'm not reading the Bible. I'm just not living right. And I felt so empty, and I'd go to the mall and I see these couples together, married couples things, whether they got children or not, and you can tell how in love they are and how happy they are, and I'm sitting there like, that's all I've ever wanted, and I just can't have it. And I learned later in life that it's because I wasn't letting God lead me. I was praying to God to send me someone, but I wasn't doing things the right way. I'm dating people, but I'm doing things you shouldn't be doing. I'm spending the night with women. Uh, you know, one here, then you leave, and within like 2 days, there's another one here. Then, like within a week, there's another one here. I was back and forth. I mean, I'm like, and again, like I went to 2 different schools, so I knew so many people and everything, and I just weren't living right. And I keep thinking like, well, these people are like spending time with me, but they don't seem to want to date me. All they want is one night stands type stuff, and that's it. And somebody actually told me one time, said, you know why that's happening to you? Says, because you're a nice guy and you're telling them everything they want to hear, and they're basically like, you're telling them what they want to hear, and they're using you like a rebound or something. And some people might think, well, great, like a buddy of mine, he was like, why are you complaining? But I was like, you don't get it, man. This is not, it's not fulfilling me. It's fun, a bad fun, but anyway, you get my point. I just was not happy. Well, and I'm still drinking. I quit drinking, but it's because I start taking pharmaceuticals. I got to watch what I say. I'm taking certain things. And I realize, well, this calms me down. It relaxes me. So all the other hard stuff I'm done with, and the drinking I'm done with. But now it's handfuls of the other stuff that's mellowing me out. And I'm just bad on it. I mean, it was bad. But again, my tolerance was so high, I could function. People wouldn't even have known that I was doing it. I'm sure most people that I talked to had no idea that I was feeling great off of something. They probably thought I was just, just a happy guy. Uh, so, but I was bad on it. And I wanted to quit drinking so bad because the doctors had already done told me, you're drinking so bad, if you don't quit. I had to go to the doctor one time because of my blood pressure was just real bad high. The doctor told me, do you drink? And I said, well, yeah, of course I kind of I drink a little. No, I was drinking a lot. And she said, well, you maybe cut back a little. Well, when she come back after seeing my test and stuff, she said, what I said about cutting back, forget it. She said, you need to quit now. She said, because if you don't, it's going to kill you. I mean, I got to watch what I say, but that's what you need to stop now. So again, that's when I kind of get doing other things. And even though I quit drinking and other stuff, now I've got a problem with this. That addictive mindset kicks in. Now I'm addicted to this. And again, I remember going down to that same water that I live by, that I growed up on. And I'd go down there at night, a lot of times right by myself. I'm listening to the water. I'm looking around. It's peaceful. And I remember literally just breaking down crying and praying to God, asking him, like, please send me somebody. I'm so tired of being alone. I don't want to live like this. I need somebody in my life. And I just that happened. I don't know how many nights I did that, just sitting there crying and thinking to myself, you know what? I don't want to go away from here, if you know what I mean, but I've got to numb myself. So I pop more. And then sitting there again thinking, Lord, please protect me. Please don't let me go away from here. But I got to numb myself, pop more. And so that's the way it was for a while. And finally, I did meet through one of the girls that I'd been hanging out with a lot. I met her sister, and I didn't have a clue that she liked me until the sister told me. So even though it still was not the right way, still weren't going about things right, I do believe that the Lord did put us in each other's lives because she was going through some bad stuff at the time. I was definitely going through bad stuff, and we did help each other. Again, even though I know you're not supposed to be living together and doing things like that if you're not married, I really do think that the Lord did put us in each other's lives for a reason. I fully believe that when things happen, I fully believe that the Lord has a plan for everybody. He knows what's going to happen before it happens. And I think he puts certain people in each other's lives and certain things happen for a reason. Now, again, I'm not condoning the stuff, but I do believe that the Lord had a plan for us. And I do believe that we were meant to at least be a part of each other's life for a certain time. And with that being said, because now I'm almost at 20 minutes, I'm going to make one more part to this video, and I'm going to pick up where I'm at right now. But I've met this girl. We hit it off, and everything's going good until it doesn't. And after this last part, you will absolutely see why I am sitting here talking to you today. I should not be. You will really, really see how Jesus finally got my attention, or at least I give him my attention, put it that way, and how he saved me yet again multiple times. Multiple times. I should not be sitting here right now, and he saved me. And everything that I've told you through these videos, when the time I get finished the next one, you're going to see why Jesus Christ has a plan for me, He has a plan for you. He has a plan for everybody. And if you'll just come to him, repent and ask for forgiveness for your sins, and accept him as your Lord and Savior, pray to him to guide you and show you the way, I promise you, you will see a difference in your life, and you will see why certain things happen for a reason, and I promise you, you won't regret it. If you're not come to Jesus, please come to him now. Thank you so much. Look for me to put the third part up, maybe over the weekend. I'll try to let it be done within a few days. Thank you all for watching. Please share the stuff. If you can share it, please share it. If you've not seen the first part, go watch it, so just the rest of it makes sense. And definitely please watch this next one, because the really, really important stuff is in this next part. Thank you so much. If you've not subscribed yet, please do so. Please hit the bell notification so you know when I put my little Bible question videos up here every day, these longer videos and stuff. Please like the videos and share them. Every time you subscribe, share, like, any kind of interaction helps get this video out to more people. And time's running out, and we need to get Jesus, the word about him, out to as many people as possible. I cannot do that without his help and without your help. So thank you for all that have helped me. Thank you so much. And the rest of you that hopefully will help me in the future, God bless you, and thank you so much, and I love you. So thank you. I will talk to you again in the next video. Jesus is King.